one of the most enjoyable times of the year was the usually like in early November, late October and early November when it didn't have the bowl coalition and
Right.
Coach Bryant was in a position of where he could really help a lot of coaches get into bowl games and so forth. And what they would do is it just worked out over the years is the bowl people would call me and talk to me about things because Coach Bryant he would talk to other coaches at other schools or other athletic directors at other schools, and we'd get up there on Sunday before the show. We'd go up and we'd always watch the film of the game before we went on. We'd get up there 4 or 5 hours sometimes before the show, and he would get on the phone talking to coaches a lot of times, and I'd be on the phone talking to bowl people, and he'd write me notes and I'd write him notes, and he'd say, tell Bud Dudley at the Liberty Bowl and Tim Treadwell at the Liberty Bowl if they'll call Charlie Mack right now, they can get him in their ball game. And he put together an awful lot of bowl games up there, and that was always a fun time because that went on for about 3 weeks. In the height of who's going where, it's totally different now, which is probably good. But I'll never forget we'd played Nebraska several times,
Right.
and we'd been lucky enough to beat them in the bowl games, and so after we'd played them in the Orange Bowl and I don't know where else, but we played them several times. Neither one of us had a really good year that year, so Coach Bryant called Devaney up. Bob Devaney got to be real good friends, and Bob said, your team's not real good this year. Well, neither one of us going to a major bowl game, and said our fans get along so well, which they did. They were great for each other. He said, why don't we? It wouldn't be a long trip for your people or our people. He said, why don't we just play in the Liberty Bowl? And Bob said, well, that sounds like a good idea, Paul. He said, okay. So Coach Bryant tried to get Bud Dudley on the phone in Memphis, and line was busy. So finally, he got hold of Bud. He said, Bud, I just talked to Bob Devaney, and said he's agreed to play us in Liberty Bowl. He said, well, I just talked to Bob Devaney, and he just called the Sun Bowl and agreed to play down there. Said he wasn't going to get caught in trap playing you again. And Coach Bryant laughed about that.